Um, the other thing, I noticed that in some of your work, back on the tips and tricks that you work to go through the system, you actually advise people. Now tell me if I'm speaking out of turn here, Jonathan, but you advise people to claim a state of depression to work through their case, which,
Yep.
yeah, that sounds kind of wild to me, but I'm anxious to hear about it.
Yeah, what I've found, well, first of all, you have to realize why. The reason why is that Social Security, if you allege depression, they will schedule a consultative evaluation with a psychologist.
Okay.
And it doesn't cost anything. And basically, my experience has been that most of the time, these psychological consultative evaluations, let me speak correctly, they will find something that limits you in some fashion. And really, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. If you have been working your whole life and you've been a productive, self-sufficient individual, and now you can't work, there's probably going to be an element of depression, even if you don't realize it. And a lot of times, these psychological evaluations will uncover that. If you have any kind of learning issues that maybe went undiagnosed, they may uncover that because they do these various tests. So I find that in most cases, there's going to be an element of depression. At the very least, the psychologist will usually find something that could help your case. So I usually advise everybody, just as a matter of course, to allege depression because it's probably there, number one. Number two is because it's probably going to generate something that will help your case.
Okay. Well, I look at it this way. If I am, as a guy, speaking to other guys out there, if I was unable to work and my livelihood was taken away from me, and I am providing, which a lot of guys do, whether it's for yourself or for your family, I can see where somebody would have a altered mental state which may cause depression. That's just
Absolutely.
my take. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a researcher, but I see that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, it makes perfect sense. If you've led a certain lifestyle, if you've had a certain vision of yourself and sort of sense of yourself, and all of a sudden that's completely changed, of course you're going to be depressed about it, and that's a very reasonable thing. And I think that a lot of, especially men, don't necessarily recognize it. A lot of times the spouses do, but really for anybody, I think it's probably not a bad idea to at least have that evaluated. And again, 9 times out of 10 it will result in something that is beneficial to me.
Okay.
And you know what? If it doesn't, if it comes back to there's nothing wrong, then you're no worse off.
Okay.
Now, by contrast, Social Security, if you allege any kind of physical problem, which in most cases are going to involve that, they'll send you out to a physical consultative evaluation as well. That's a different animal because those rarely help. Those are typically the IME type of doctors that you see in workers' compensation cases. They rarely find anything wrong with anybody. Judges give them very little weight. It's kind of a waste of time for everybody, but you got to go through the process. So in most cases, most claimants will find themselves being sent out for a physical evaluation and a mental health evaluation. The physical one's not going to do them a whole lot of good. The mental health one might. But you might as well get it.
Okay. Okay. Let's